Hello everyone, my name is Kimberly Gutierrez and today I will be presenting an article analysis for our class BADM 495 on America's Board Priorities 2025. This was published by the Harvard Law School Forum on Corporate Governance. This article was published in January of 2025 and provides a timely perspective on how corporate boards are aligning their strategies with evolving business challenges. The article is based on a survey of over 500 corporate directors from across the Americas and outlined the top board level priorities for this year. These include portfolio reshaping. Companies are reevaluating where to invest and divest and stay competitive. Technology oversight directors are focused on both the opportunities of emerging tech like AI and the growing threats of cyber risks. Organizational resilience, scenario planning, and risk preparedness are key, especially in today's uncertain environment. Talent advantage. Boards are prioritizing employee sentiment and engagement as critical to long-term success. In short, boards are becoming more strategic and forward-looking, balancing innovation, risk, and human capital. And now we're tying this article into the class concepts from chapter 5 through 7 of our textbook Strategy Dynamics Essentials. First, from chapter 5 on resource quality, the article highlights how employees are no longer seen as interchangeable parts of the business, but as high-quality strategic assets. Culture and sentiment are being leveraged to drive performance. Second, in chapter 6, we learned about developing resources. And boards are doing just that by investing in innovation and improving internal capabilities. For example, AI isn't just a threat, it's also a tool for competitive differentiation. And from chapter 7, which focuses on competitive rivalry. This entire approach is about helping companies prepare for and outperform in an increasingly hostile and uncertain market. The main takeaway for managers is this: it's no longer enough to be reactive or cost-focused. Strategic agility, long-term vision, and stakeholder alignment are now essential. And here's a visual representation of the 4 board priorities for 2025. In the top left, we have portfolio reshaping. This involves reallocating investments, divesting and underperforming units, and focusing capital where growth is most likely. In the top right, we have technology oversight, which highlights how boards are balancing innovation like AI with cybersecurity concerns and data privacy. The bottom left shows organizational resilience. Scenario planning and stress testing are becoming more regular practices for boards, not just for crisis response, but as part of everyday strategy. And in the bottom right, talent advantage shows a shift toward measuring employees' engagement, listening to feedback, and fostering cultures that attract and retain top talent. These 4 pillars are interconnected, and together they reflect a much more comprehensive view of strategic leadership. I think talent advantage is the most important. Being an employee myself, working for a large company, it's very important to make sure your employees are happy and thriving in their environment. And now, class discussion questions. To wrap up, here are 2 questions I'd like to pose to the class for discussion. 1, how can boards balance innovation with risk management in today's environment? And 2, in what ways can understanding employee sentiment give companies a strategic edge? And how might managers turn culture into a measurable resource? I look forward to hearing your insights and seeing where this conversation goes. Lastly, my reference is going to be the America's Board Priorities 2025 by B.R. Smith J. and Edgerton B. Again, this was, published January 29, 2025. And thank you so much for listening.